Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boo Shakalaka podcast. I am your host, Tiffany, and I'm joined with my coughing co host, Pierre.
It really was no miracle. What happened was just this. The wind began to switch, the house to pitch, and suddenly the hinges started to unhitch. Just then, the witch, to satisfy an itch, went flying on her broomstick, thumbing for a hitch.
I don't know that one. Is that The Nightmare Before Christmas?
That is Wizard of Oz. Stop saying things to get you canceled. That's the Wizard of Oz, and we'll move past this.
I feel like I've only seen that movie, like the original, one time.
That's so sad. I'm sorry for
Just
you.
one time.
Everyone hates
you. That's enough. That's enough. So we're back for our Christmas horror reviews. And this week, unfortunately, we watched Jack Frost and the Snowman. And the reason why I say unfortunately is I was hyping this up, but in reality, the one that I enjoyed the most is the sequel. Jack Frost, the second one when he was on the tropical island. A snowman on a tropical island.
Burn.
That's the one I enjoyed the most. So I'm sitting here like, this is boring. This is shit. The jokes are shit.
The puns.
Just like the little boy makes for his dad to eat. Shit.
So Jack Frost debuted in 1997. This is not the Jack Frost starring Michael Keaton, the lighthearted family movie. This is some bullshit. Like, they really bullshitted us. And so we start the movie with a very creepy origin of Jack Frost. It was, see, the beginning kind of gets you into it. Because it's like, excuse me? It's just like this dad telling his daughter a bedtime story about this serial killer. And so apparently the serial...
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Apparently, it was two 35-year-olds talking. Hey, sweetie, you want to hear a story?
Oh, hi, Grandpa. I would love to hear a story. Oh, my God, tell me a horror, a scary story.
I was like, no kid sounds like this. This is two 35-year-olds acting like a child and an old man. It was...
So apparently the serial killer has been active for 5 years. He's been through 11 states and he's committed 38 murders. I'm sorry. Why the FBI hasn't found him, I don't know, because he's clearly an asshole and an idiot. But yeah, you get this creepy, nursery rhyme kind of beginning, and that's basically the origin of Jack Frost, and he's a serial killer. And so then we start the movie with them transporting Jack in a UPS truck to go to his execution the next day. Why he's in a UPS truck when he's a serial killer, I have no idea. There's no armor on this truck at all. He's just sitting in the backseat chilling.
They wanted him to get out.
And so the UPS truck crashes because they're transporting him during a blizzard, which is also like, what?
Stupid.
And so they crash, and they crash next to these chemicals.
So they crash into, okay. So he's supposed to be executed. They're driving along in their automobile, and he kills one of the guards in the back. First, he asks him for a smoke, and the guy's like, "Not on your life, pal," even though you only have 10 minutes left to live. And somehow, Jack gets the upper hand on him, and he takes one puff of the cigarette and then burns it on the guy. I'm like, did you really want the cigarette? Or like, that's not how you enjoy a cigarette. You smoke it till it's done, or you burn the nubs of your fingers. As an ex-smoker, I know these things. I'm just kidding. You don't smoke that much. But he crashes into the Chemical X truck.
Girl.
And then Jack becomes something sweet, spice, and everything nice. So they crash into the truck, and Jack gets out, and he's thinking to himself, "Oh, I'm free. I got this. I'm about to go start my rampage again." And then the truck explodes, and Chemical X spills all over him, and he turns into Freddy Krueger first, and then he turns into the Crypt Keeper, and then he melts into the snow, and then we see a Windows 95 transition of cells forming, basically turning him into the snowman that we are going to get ready to see. And guys, everybody, it is not the snowman that you see in Pierre's background. It is the snowman that you see in mine. Let me move to the side. What the fuck is this? When I was so fucking bamboozled when I was a kid, because we got joy out of going to the video store
And
picking up a
seeing the
movie. We saw
hologram.
this, had the hologram. It was such a cool cover. We were like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. You get home and you see this.
And so then we're introduced to the sheriff, and what you need to know about the sheriff is that he's the whatever
His
Sam.
name is Sam.
Sam Wheat. Say it with me, Sam Wheat. And
no, it's like Sam Tiller, or something
yes,
like that.
yeah. And so what you discover is that he's the one who actually caught Jack Frost in the dumbest way possible, like a routine traffic stop, and he was acting fucking weird, like you wanted to get fucking caught. And
he
so,
was acting like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. That's what I think that character. It was either Jack Nicholson mixed with the little Brad Dourif from Chucky. Because what the fuck?
And so he's the one who catches him. And so because of that, at the trial, he's basically like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get your family. I'll find you. Arr, you know, shiver me timbers. And scissor me timbers.
And we find out that he was sending Sam letters from Rosemary Ackerman's fucking magazine. Like,
I'm gonna get you, pussy face. And so he's been having nightmares about this because he's like, oh my God, Jack's gonna kill me. So he's been very into the whole, when y'all gonna kill this bitch? And so we're introduced to the town, and the town is fucking trash. And they're all getting ready for Christmas. I don't know, because they all on the same street, just putting shit in their cars.
No. You're not gonna skip through. I got it all together. So
I don't want to recap this.
Sam and his family are driving. I guess they were like trying to follow the UPS truck, as you said, with Jack in it. And they see like there's been a big wreck. The cars are all flipped over, and he stops by. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" They're like, "Move it along, buddy. Move it along. This doesn't concern you. Get out of here." And he goes back home, and he's like, that was the truck that Jack was in. You know, I need to know what's going on. So we skip to the next morning, and he's at home with his family, and his family all think he's a big hero because Jack was supposed to have died the night before. And technically he did die. Mm-hmm. And his son Ryan was like, "Hey, Dad, I made you some breakfast. This will come in handy later in the movie." He's like, "I made you some shit and marshmallow surprise for breakfast. Shit, oatmeal and marshmallow surprise for breakfast." And the dad's like, "Oh, it looks yummy. Put it in that bag for me. Thanks." And he leaves out.
It looks like green diarrhea. For a visual, they need a visual. It looks like green diarrhea, and I'm not
with marshmallows. Ambrosia salad with shit on top.
Motherfucker.
Pistachio salad with shit on top. Anything you can find in a 1950s housewife cookbook. That's what that little boy made for his daddy. And back to the town. You're right. It's like one street. This is their Bourbon Street. It's Snowmanton town. And you have a bunch of kids. You have kids there. We meet everybody. We meet Jimmy, who is an asshole kid. We meet Tommy, who is Jill's boyfriend. We meet Jill, who is ready to
hypersexual.
Oh my gosh, it's too damn cold to be trying to fuck. Like, warm me up, baby, because that's ain't it. Nipples and titties frozen to death. Like, I don't understand how, like, this is. So we go into the sheriff's workspace. We go into the sheriff's station. And
the cabin.
Literally, Marcia is in there, and she's like, "Hey, Sam, we got a message." And Sam's like, "What?" And she holds up a pad, and it says, "Somebody died." Mm-hmm. And with this being such a small town, obviously people don't get murdered often. So they head out to Old Man Harper's house, and he is dead, still rocking in the chair. Like, how is that possible? In the front of the house, and there's no struggle in sight. So Sam's like, "Oh shit, it must have been Jack Frost." Like, how did he immediately get to Jack Frost is what I'm trying to understand.
I think he's just paranoid and scared. He's like terrified. And so you know, they're over there at the house. This man's neck is snapped on the rocking chair. I don't know why they keep showing this dead body. I was very turned off. And so he wants to keep it quiet. Basically, he doesn't want to freak the town out because, like you said, it's a small town. And so in his paranoia, he goes back to his office and he's like, "Hey," he calls the FBI because he just has the FBI on speed dial. And he's like, "Hey, motherfuckers."
It's 1-800-FBI, FBI, FBI.
And he's like, "Hey, motherfuckers." Fuck Tiffany. And he's like, "Hey, motherfuckers, this is bitch dead." And so they're like very shady with him. They're like, "Hey, we're aware of the accident. We can confirm that he died. Bitch, get off my phone." And so the minute they hit click, that's when the FBI agent is talking to this random doctor. I don't know, some random.
I didn't get his name. Let's just call him Dr.
Random Phil. Jurassic Park doctor. And so he's like, oh, so tell me the truth. And so basically, they're aware that Jack got doused in the chemicals, and they're aware that he's been transformed into some kind of being. So they're aware. The FBI knows everything. How they know, I don't fucking know, but they know. And so, but they don't want Sam to know. Okay. And so we're at Sam's house, and basically, the mom gets back from grocery shopping. She got 20 goddamn bags in her hand. This part pisses me off. She go up in the house. She like, and the son done ruined the fucking kitchen again. What is he making? Cocaine snowman? Gingerbread snowman? He got the gingerbread.
Hey, Mom, I wanted to make a snowman.
He got cocaine and powder shit like everywhere. And I'm like, and then she just hands him a bag that just happens to have snowman decorations because there's a snowman outside their house now. Don't nobody know who built the fucking snowman. Nobody thinks it's suspicious because it's a big ass fucking snowman. Ain't enough snow on the ground to even make that. So Ryan goes outside, and in the bag was just a bunch of fucking carrots, like coal. Like, how did you know that he wanted to build a snowman? Why did you buy these ingredients?
There's so many carrots in this movie.
And they're so big and like long.
Ew, like
hard.
Give me some cute baby petite carrots.
Yeah, I'm like, who is eating these giant ass carrots? And so Ryan goes outside
Bugs
and he like,
fucking buddy.
He decorates the snowman. He gives him eyes. He gives him buttons, eyebrows,
and he starts like going in his mouth.
Right, and then you sexual. See like these ice teeth coming out, like, and he's just oblivious to all this shit. So he makes the snowman, and then we're introduced. Who is it? Billy. And Billy, bitch ass, he got a small dingling, and so he runs up and he's just like, "Hey, Ryan, fuck you!" Like, just a bully for no goddamn reason. And so they're telling him to move out the way because they want to sled on the black ice in the dad's driveway. And he's like, "Well, this is my dad's driveway. How the fuck y'all gonna sled?" And he's just like, "Fuck you, bitch! I'm gonna fuck your mom." Like, it's just unnecessary bullying. And so he's pushing Ryan around. And so basically Jack comes alive and he like just knocks him down. And so he decapitates Ryan. And I'm sorry, he decapitates Billy, and Billy's head goes flying. There's blood in the snow, and all you hear is, "Oh my God, Ryan killed Billy." And I'm like, "No, bitch, you killed Billy, you bastard." Because you are the one who like slid it over his neck. So like him being knocked over, like that could have happened any kind of way. And it's like nobody saw the snowman's hand being raised. This is what I wanted to cut the fucking movie off. Because now y'all
But you know what? This is why I wanted to keep the movie on. We don't get that quick of justice with bullies in any other movie. That was justice served. It wasn't even served cold. That bitch was served hot and immediately. Hot and fucking ready like Little Caesars. He picked on him. He got his head cut off. End of story. You're out of here. That's how it needs to be done. That's how it needs to be done.
And so now, again, the town is all on the same street. And they all like, of course, Billy's dad is reacting very, angrily. He's like pissed. And he's like, "Your son killed my kid." Da, da, da. And I'm like, how are y'all saying that he killed him? Him pushing him over, like that. He got hit by the sled. He wasn't driving the sled.
Why were they sledding so close to him?
Again, it's some bullshit. And so basically, Billy's whole family is pissed about, Billy dying. And then he's like, the son is like, "The snowman did it. The snowman did it." So, here we are, Child's Play 1. Everybody think the kid crazy. Learn to listen to these goddamn kids. Why would he just fucking randomly lie about that? And so the sheriff is taking up for his son, which I'm like, he needs to be taken off the case because bias. He's like, "My son wouldn't do it," and I have to believe him. I'm like, well, that's some bullshit.
Well, your son tried to kill you earlier with, shit oatmeal and fucking marshmallow pate. Like, ew. It looked disgusting. Then we skip to Anne at home making carrot soup or something. We get like a fake scare. Nothing happens. Anne is the wife of Sam. And then we see Paul outside. So I'm guessing Paul is Billy's dad. So he's outside. He's, beside himself. He can't take it. And of course he starts to hear some rustling. At this point, we don't know that Jack looks like the one behind me. We don't know this yet. So we're still thinking he might look a little different. Like he might transform when he comes alive.
This part pisses me off as well. Because first of all, the dad's an abusive drunk. And he talking about God and all this shit. Get the fuck out of my face. Anyway, he's very abusive, and the wife is very meek, and the daughter don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck that Billy died at this point, but the dad. Quite honestly, because ain't nobody reacting. And so, the dad goes outside because he wants to light his cigar. This is what pisses me off, Tiffany. He walks outside, he sees the same fucking snowman he saw outside the fucking sheriff's house, and he don't question it at all. Bitch, you know ain't nobody built no snowman outside your house. Your son is dead. Your daughter ain't built a snowman. Who did this shit? So he hears talking, and he just, like, you know, Jack is taunting him, but he just looking around like, Sheriff, is that you? Did you come to make amends? Who wrote
How are you gonna
this
make
fucking...
amends?
Who wrote this shit?
He did. What amends?
Like, who wrote this shit? So
I don't know.
Jack...
I was so happy when Jack came up and got him, though.
So, you know, he pulling the axe out. He like...
He's about to fight an imaginary character, and
he
Jack
still doesn't recognize the snowman that's talking to him, which pisses me off even more. So then Jack pulls up behind him, takes the axe from him, stuffs the axe down his throat. I hate this fucking movie.
And this is a point where we see Jack in motion. He's nothing like the cover art, so we know we're in for shenanigans the rest of the movie. We already know it's some bullshit. He hasn't started the puns yet, but they are fucking coming. So the FBI... He doesn't. So the FBI agent, his name is Agent Manners. He finally shows up, but he's not letting, you know, the townspeople know what's going on. And I just want to know, he's giving him like words. He's like the DB or not the DB. DB. And the sheriff's like, DB. He's like, dead body. Like, how did he become the sheriff if he doesn't even know these little acronyms? Granted, these could all be just fucking made up. But yeah, I don't know. So Manners' partner sees like a puddle of water on the floor, and oh no, we skipped one thing. So they killed
Jack killed Jill's mom by wrapping her up in Christmas tree lights.
That was cruel. That lady didn't do anything.
I didn't understand why he was targeting this one family to begin with, because though Billy was a bully, what the fuck everybody else do? And
you
so
only have a moral high ground when it matters to you.
So yeah, he like wraps up the wife with Christmas. He like just bangs her head into Christmas ornaments and then stuffs the star in her fucking face. I was like, what the? She died so gruesome.
It was terrible. I felt so bad for that lady.
And so what you need to know,
lost her son.
Yes, and what you need to know is that the salt guy, the town salt guy, is the one who witnessed her murder. He
the
also
town
witnesses
fucking drunk.
Yes, he also witnesses Jack in his snow form being active and, you know, moving around and shit. So he runs out and escapes. But of course, so he's like the only witness. But of course, you know, I guess he's like the exposition guy because he's the only one who knows that there's a killer snowman at this point. And so now
locking him up for some reason.
They lock him up because he was being belligerent and knocking out every snowman that he saw in town. And the FBI agent was like, you need to get him under control, bitch. And the sheriff's like, all right, bitch, throw him in the jail. And it's like, okay, he knows about the murders because he saw them. Y'all are trying to keep the murders under wraps. Mm-hmm. Clearly he knows something, but far be it for me to tell the sheriff and the fucking FBI agent, the only FBI agent who came to town, because he came with a fucking doctor. You ain't coming no goddamn backup, bitch.
Well, and then they find out that the Doctor Who, figures out that Jack can freeze, melt, and then refreeze at will. So they're like, "Oh my god, this is a phenomenon. We got to tell the world." You know what in any movie, what a reporter does to get the story, they'll risk their lives. Yeah. And you know, any doctor to discover the newest scientific thing, they're gonna they don't care what happens to anybody. They just want to get their recognition.
Right. They want to study him and all that. We can't kill him, even though he's killing everyone in the town. I don't have time for this bullshit storyline. This reminds me of Jurassic Park. Like, don't shoot him. Bitch, fuck you. Like, literally, fuck you. This thing is eating me.
Exactly.
I hate that part of the movie. Like, bitch, I will kill your British ass.
Exactly. And it's just like, so now it's a murder mystery. We got them investigating. It's boring.
Yeah, and so the sheriff enacts a curfew. And so everybody's supposed to haul up at the church that ain't got no fucking heat because the furnace is not working.
Why is the heat not on? You live in Snowmanton. The heat should always be on.
Because it's been snowing for days, babe. The blizzard would just happen. Why? Anyway, I'm not going to church.
I keep my heat at a nice 68, 69 degrees.
Then I'm not going to church if there ain't no heat at the church.
Hello.
And so The sheriff's wife is a dumbass bitch, so she runs home to get some fucking blankets. Well, I guess she's a smart ass bitch because they do need blankets because otherwise we're gonna all catch frostbite. So she runs home to get the blankets. It's like a jump scare, not a jump scare thing. Move past it. Joe helps her out and blah blah blah. The other deputy who's on his way to the fucking jail, he sees Jack with a fucking stop sign in the middle of the road.
And he stops.
And he stops.
Wait, time out. Jack was in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
He could have did a swerve to the right, swerve to the left, and
No,
kept fucking driving.
He
had to stop and check it out.
He had to stop, look at the snowman, get a shovel out the back. Then all of a sudden the snowman's melted. He's like, oh, okay. Oh. Then the snowman inside his fucking car. And I'm like, even with the idea that he can melt, reform, you got into the car that quick?
Yeah, it's too fast. Jack, is
leprechaun.
I don't know where his magic lies.
Jack runs this bitch over. How he's driving the car with no feet. Fuck y'all. Honestly, fuck y'all. Like
he stuck his carrot in his foot. Oh, he doesn't even. You're right. He doesn't even have feet. Why did they?
That's why I just want to know why we're not rich yet. Because if they're greenlighting shit like this, why the fuck can't we type some shit up and get it greenlit? It can at least go on Tubi.
You're right. So then, here comes the dumb part. Jill and Tommy sneak off into the sheriff's house while
why? You're gonna explain this shit. Explain this shit.
Hold on.
Like I
got a lot. So the sheriff is getting everybody into town hall or into the church or whatever it was where they had to fix the furnace. And Jill and Tommy hide out. Like, oh, my brother just died. I need to fuck something now. That's how Jill is feeling. And I heard that is a real thing. Like when you're grieving, you kind of want to release. But she's been feeling like that way before Billy died. Okay.
Well, why so at the sheriff's house you have a
So they sneak into the sheriff's house, and I am like, I barely want to sleep in a hotel. Why would I want to sleep at somebody's house and I have no idea the last time they washed their sheets, the last time they did anything? And
it's not enough for me. She don't even know her fucking parents are dead at this point because ain't nobody been able to find her ass.
Because she been hiding. And they have the stupidest, dumbest, longest striptease ever. Hold on, I gotta take off my scarf. I gotta take off my hat. I gotta take off my jacket. I gotta take off my long johns. I gotta take off my thermal. I gotta take off my t-shirt. I gotta take off my undershirt. Oh, if you want to be with me, I need a roaring fire and some wine. She says that to him, and I'm like, he doesn't live here.
This movie, the soundtrack alone is enough for me to fuck everybody up.
Like,
I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, and then she unbuttoning these buttons and then what pisses me off even more, so she leaves and goes upstairs to blow dry her fucking hair. When was your hair wet, bitch?
Well, when they showed her earlier, it was a little damp. It did appear that way. So I don't know how it got damp.
She was blow drying her hair for 10 minutes, Tiffany. She was blow drying her hair long enough for the guy to go into this freeze dried ass freezer, get some ice, put it in the champagne glass, for Jack Frost to come through the doggy door, reform up, and then shoot him with icicles.
Yo, this is a recurring thing. Is this like the third movie we've seen somebody die from icicles?
It is. But
what is going on?
So he has these new powers.
They got Tommy good. They got Tommy good.
These new powers where he can just shoot icicles, which that's not how
nothing is ever discussed.
And so she gets done blow drying her hair right when Tommy dies, and then there's just this warm bath water just sitting there, and she's like, "Thanks, Tommy." And then she
gets in and re-wets her hair.
And then she washes. Look, she washes with no fucking suds. With there are no suds. I'm seeing soap. I'm not seeing no bubbles. What's up, Tiff? Explain.
Why did she re-wet her hair?
And so she's just chilling in the water at this point. She's chilling in the water with a soap with a bar of soap, a loofah, and hot water with no suds. And so then you see like the water approaching, which if he had ran the water, where was he?
I thought he was the water. At first.
He was. Like, I thought. Yeah, but no, you see the water creeping up, So who ran the fucking water? Okay, anyway, there was just warm
Okay,
water.
hold on. Let me say something funny. So, have you seen the second one?
No.
Okay. So when Tommy or was it Tommy? Yeah, when Tommy was getting the ice and he put it in the cup.
Yeah.
In the second movie, Jack is on a tropical island and he transforms himself into ice in a cooler. And this girl's like, "Oh, I'd like a iced latte," and this guy makes it for her, and she's drinking it, and she's like, the ice is so great." She's like, and then she starts crunching on it. She's like, she's at a photo shoot, so she's crunching on the ice, and Jack, you hear Jack say, "That's it," and then the photographer's like, "Okay, give me a big smile," and she turns to him, and her fucking head explodes. So I thought that was gonna happen to Tommy, and the whole time I was like, "No, that's the second movie." Maybe that'll be for next Christmas.
I hate you so much because this movie pisses me off. So Jack gets into the water, and she's like, "Tommy, don't put cold water in." And then he reforms around her. She's stuck inside of the snowman, and so he begins to slam her into the bathroom wall repeatedly while she screams.
No, he's banging her while banging her.
I hate you. And
the music, wipe out.
And then she falls on the floor and she's bleeding. I guess we're just led to believe she had blunt force trauma. Shannon Elizabeth, you've come a long way.
You deserve better. You deserve better.
Like,
yo, if I would have got that script, I would have been like, "Guys, I'm sorry, I can't do it." Well, at least she wasn't actually. She showed her butt, but she didn't show like in American Pie where she actually got nude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we back at the sheriff office. Yeah. I'm so defeated after that. And Jack is there.
It's okay. Well, the FBI can't. So they give this little story that the FBI can't get through because of the blizzard coming in. So the Chris, who was the cop that died at the stop sign, car pulls up, and everybody goes out to greet him, but no one is there. And then Jack finally reveals himself to the sheriff that locked him up. You know, he finally shows the people that we need to see him, and Agent Manners shoots him. And of course, nothing happens. Like, why are you shooting a snowman? And then here come the puns. The puns are like rapid fucking fire. Like every time, like he turned into Chucky immediately. But Chucky's jokes were good. Chucky's puns were great.
Ice puns, the worst. I'll chill you out. I like it wet. Just fucking dumbass.
What did she say? You know what happens to a frog when it's electrocuted with 300 degrees?
I hate you.
Same thing that happens to everything else.
Just like cringy shit. Like you're a serial killer talking like this. This is why you got caught.
Yeah, exactly. You are exactly right. Because
and so
shut the hell up and kill people.
Yeah, and the fucking doctor pissing me off the whole time because he's like, fascinating. And it's like, bitch, we're about to die. And so, he gets his ass up in there. Up in the sheriff's office by turning into water, and so everybody else smart runs out. Here come the sheriff with a fucking mini blow dryer that his assistant was using, and that's when he's like, "Oh well, Jack is harmed by heat," because he's like, blow dryer, and of course the blow dryer gets unplugged because it's fucking blood. I hate this fucking movie.
Yeah, so they use blow dryers all the way to the back of the sheriff's station. Like, bitch, how many extension cords do you have in a sheriff's station?
Right. And so they're like, okay, let's gather aerosol. I don't understand this part because they don't explain it, but they're like, get the aerosol cans, and they're just spraying aerosol throughout the entire sheriff cabin.
It was a bunch of fucking hairspray because Marla is rocking an 80s white lady fro.
Right, but it was a lot of aerosol cans. And so they're moving their way to the back, and they're trying to bust out the window in the back. And so Jack is on his way, but not on his way. He taking forever. They taking forever to get out. Basically, they all get out. Jack come up, and so they actually the FBI agent shoots in, and it actually we're led to believe the aerosol just explodes like that. And so it blows him up. That was their big plan. They blow him up, like boom. Well, he's dead now.
But guess what? There's still 20 fucking minutes left in this movie.
And so he's reforming, and they're like, oh, he's dead. The day is saved. And I'm like, they don't see him reforming. And so basically he reforms, and that's when they're like, oh shit, he's alive. And
he comes up like he's all out of whack. He's like, I feel like a Picasso now. Ha! And I'm just like, I'm gonna get out of here and put myself back together. And you just see him.
Yeah. And they're like scared, but not scared because they're just standing in the same spot. And I'm like, and then they split up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, no, everybody runs into the church. The only people that leave are Agent Manners and the doctor. They're the ones that split up because they want to go talk about it. This is them like, oh, this is our big scientific discovery. We have got to get our people here to come get everybody, you know.
Yeah. And so basically they going back to the church because they're like, hey, you know, maybe this is how we can kill him. If we heat him up, you know, his genetic chemicals, compounds will disperse.
We already tried that.
But it's so hot in the furnace.
But we already tried that. We fucking blew him up.
So they're like, well, how are we going to get him to the furnace? We'll push him in. So Jack literally, he rolls into the church. And when I say he rolls in, motherfuckers, this bitch is a fucking bowling ball.
Like a fucking tumbleweed.
Like, and then they even make a joke about that. Look, you got a 4 split. Like, I'm like, it's just the music with them standing like this. It's them standing like this, and then everybody has blow dryers, and they have all these blow dryers on all these extension cords like it's fucking she-devil. They want to blow up a goddamn house, and they just blow dry him down to the basement into the furnace. Tiffany, I'm getting sick now. I'm like really getting nauseous.
Wait, the blow dryers, like I'm tired of like. Well, I have a blow dryer. Granted, do I use it often? No.
But did you see how many blow dryers they had on that extension cord? It was just such bad writing.
115.
And like everybody in town is just blow drying him, and he's melting, and they push him in the furnace and they close it, and there's like, oh yay, he's dead now. Is he dead, Tiffany?
Absolutely not. There's still 10 minutes left in the movie.
I almost just peed. Because what the fuck? And so
he corners Manners. He corners Manners and the doctor, and he kills Manners
by
biting his face.
He bites his face, but he only bites one cheek because I only see one icicle in his cheek, and I was like, damn, he's dead.
Budgetary reasons. What's so crazy is Manners comes back in part 2. But anyway, so he bites him, and then the doctor's like, hold on. You know, I can find a way to turn you back. And Jack's, I'm having too much fun! And it's like, you're lying. You would want to be turned back into a human. Like, what are we fucking talking about? You and him should get together and leave this fucking compound so they could turn you back human. You're a fucking snowman. Like, what are you gonna do in the summertime? Like, what?
When it's not at all suspicious.
And then he's like, okay. I know you're gonna kill me, but just tell me, how does it feel to breach death? How does it feel to be a snowman? Well, it feels cold! And then somehow he goes into his body, and he comes out like the farmer on Men in Black.
That was not the same thing! Because what the fuck was... He was like... You put my hands on my head. Like,
he gave it like 25 seconds. He was like, fuck it, I can't do this anymore.
The worst projectile shaving cream vomit I've ever seen in my life. I hate when I know exactly how they do something in movies, because that was shaving cream, Tiffany.
Definitely, for sure.
And then he reforms, and the sheriff is like, oh, well, he has his son with him now. So he's like, son, get in the car. But they don't have the keys.
I don't know.
Why does the sheriff not have the keys to his own car?
I don't know. Like, it's a movie. They're supposed to be in the
and so they sit in the
visor.
Car. They sit in the car. They don't get out the car and run. They sit in the car as Jack projectile, but I don't know. He water guns into the fucking car. And they're just watching. He's like, don't let it touch you. Yes. He's like, don't let it touch you. I'm like, get out the fucking car. So by the time they decide to get out the car, Jack is in the car. And Jack has frozen the locks. So now it makes sense that they can't get out. But the sheriff busts the window open and puts his son out. And so then he hits him with his son's 3-bean casserole. And so it burns Jack. And so he's like, what the fuck did you put in that? And the son's like, well, I didn't want it to get cold, so I put antifreeze. And I'm like, so he tried to kill his dad.
Literally.
If his dad had eaten that, Tiffany, he would have fucking died.
Yeah, I wanted, Dad, I didn't want you to be cold, but I did want to kill you.
So technically I did want you to be cold. You're going to be 6 feet under cold. And so he put antifreeze in the 3-bean casserole. And so he's like, antifreeze? That makes sense. And everybody's light bulbs comes off. And so he contacts the fucking drunk who they got out of the sheriff's prison before it blew up. And he's like, hey, I need you to get all the antifreeze you got, because of course he supplies the town with salt. Of course he has antifreeze.
He said, I just got a new shipment in.
Right. And so he has 5 minutes to get all the antifreeze into his pickup truck. And so
Sam goes into this. This is really weird. So he goes into this random house and he's knocking on doors trying to get in. And somebody's like, hey, somebody's in here. Hey, somebody's in here. I'm like, what is this, a fucking brothel?
What I thought it was the church at first, but I don't know. I'm scared.
It was just really weird. And they get it. They get it. He finally gets him. Jack finally gets Sam cornered, and they get into a little tussle. And then Jack really this is the only part of the movie where he's actually scary. He's like, you see an icicle slowly coming out, and it starts to puncture Sam. So he has to go through the 10 layers of clothing that he's wearing, and it starts to puncture him, and he actually starts to bleed. And Sam is like, all right, I'm gonna act like I'm dead. So he kind of like slumps over, and he hears the truck horn, and we heard it earlier in the movie. And he runs into Jack. Wouldn't the icicle have at this point fucking killed him?
It would have. But they bust out the window 2 stories up and fall into the antifreeze in the back of the pickup truck, to where he proceeds to drown Jack in the antifreeze. And so he's deteriorating, he's melting, he's decomposing. Mind you, it looks like he's swallowing this antifreeze. I'm not a doctor, but I feel like y'all are still gonna die. He getting it all in his eyes. Like, this is not water. This is antifreeze. Right. And you just playing in it, you spitting it out. Jack evaporates. But then the son is like, hey, Dad, you forgot this piece. And Jack's arm wraps around the son. The mom picks up the son and throws him into the antifreeze. And the dad just drowns the son, like he baptizes him in the antifreeze. It's going all in the son's mouth, in his eyes.
Yo,
nobody's burning. I feel like that would burn. It's
like they should have went and jumped in that bathwater old girl had at the house after, because they would need a chemical flush, all that stuff. Like,
it's all in their hair, like mouth, eyeballs, ears, and everybody just act like it's normal. I hate this fucking movie. So after the bitch evaporates, and they take the antifreeze and they put it in the antifreeze empty bottles, and they just they pack it in there, and now they're burying it. And that's when the FBI finally shows up. And they're like, we're not going to let them know. We're just going to bury the antifreeze bottles.
Right. So how are we going to cover up? One of your agents is dead.
And a doctor that worked for the FBI as well.
What are we going to say that happened?
And so as they're burying it, you see like the chemicals are like, they're
bubbling in there.
Yeah.
I'll find a way. So that's the end of the movie. I'm going to give you a couple of the puns that were used in the movie.
I hate you so much.
Tommy. This is Tommy speaking. I said, who's there? This is Jack speaking. Well, it ain't fucking Frosty. Like, that was the level. When he kills the guy by shoving the axe down his throat. Gosh, I only axed you for a smoke. Like, those are the puns throughout the entire
They don't get better.
movie. He said he called himself the world's most pissed off snow cone. Like,
how's that for a frostbite?
My favorite one, I did have a good one. When he was standing in front of the house and the town drunk came and he hit him with the trunk and he flew, he's like, I can see the top of your house from here. I don't know why that was funny.
No, the best joke of the movie was
Yeah.
when after Billy died, and the he's like, hey, like, how would my son have beat up your son? He's 2 feet taller than him. And somebody in town said, not anymore. Did you hear that? Please tell me you heard that. He was like, he's 2 feet taller. And somebody said, not anymore. And I was like, why the fuck did y'all put that in the movie?
Cold-blooded.
Somebody recorded that shit and they kept that shit in the fucking movie. They said, well, not anymore.
Cold-blooded for a cold-blooded movie.
This was some bull shit right here. If y'all want, is it a dumb bitch film where you can just like laugh at it and joke at it at a party?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's really like a hangover movie.
The puns alone, I just don't understand what the goal was. I want to know what the synopsis was for this fucking movie. But yeah.
Not for you.
This shouldn't have been a Christmas movie. The
What's your
puns.
rating?
The fuck do Rotten Tomatoes give it? I'll give it a 2.5. And that's just the puns.
That's for the puns. Okay, yeah, I like that. So I'm gonna give it a 2. I would give it a 2.5, but there's no black people in it.
Damn, you always say that, and I'm like, they really did exclude black people from horror movies.
Not a 1. Not a fucking 1.
Well, it's a small town.
Snowmanton.
That's not the name of the fucking town.
Yes, it is.
Guys, we're gonna end the podcast.
Snowmanton. All right, so that will do it for this dreck of a movie. That was Jack Frost, the mutant killer snowman.
You know what? The episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog with the snowman was better than this fucking movie.
I don't think I saw that.
You remember seeing the snowman and he was melting and he was okay. You gotta watch it. It's hilarious. Get on Max and watch it tonight.
Maybe. So, probably not. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I think I did. No, I hated that show. Only because, like, it was, like, the same thing over and over and over again. Like, they always put that dog in the most terrible situations, and he should have packed up his fucking bags and left.
It was actually very dark, and I think it was very dark, though. I like that it was dark and creepy.
Yeah, well, anyway, so that will do it for this episode. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter X at BooShakalakaPod. Send in your request. The Christmas drop a pad. The Christmas horror extravaganza is almost over. So beginning in January, we're going to think of a new theme month, or we'll just do random movies that we decide or that people suggest. So yeah. You got anything else?
Spotify, YouTube, Twitter. Come on, you guys. I want you to listen. I want you to rate. I want you to comment. I want you to let us know what you think about this podcast. Hello Fresh. I'm still hollering at you, baby. I ain't forgot about you, baby.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. Please be sure to join us next week as we cover 2012's Silent Night. So it is a remake of I guess like an 80s horror movie. So this is my pick for the week. It's gonna be that. My boyfriend suggested we do Nightmare Before Christmas, and I was like, no, because Pierre would kill me with all of my singing. So
that's a good idea. Actually, you're a hater.
Oh, maybe that will round out the entire Christmas horror movie review extravaganza.
Can't wait for Silent Night.
Snavaganza. All right, so that'll do it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you.